we'll be starting our next topic, that is source determination. Okay, so the topics that we are going to cover in source determination, we will see what are the types of source list records, how to use the source list, okay, how the source determination will happen using the source list. Then we will understand what is quota arrangement, how the source determination process is done using the quota arrangement. We will see that. Then how automatic source determination in a manual purchase requisition will happen. We will cover that. Then how automatic source determination during MRP run will happen. We will see that. Then how the vendor and source list blocking will happen, how it is done. Then we will understand what is the use of regular vendor. Okay, so these are the topics that we are going to cover in the source determination process. Okay, source determination process. Okay, so so we'll start with source list. So what is source list? Okay, source list. The source list contains a list of sources for a material in a particular plant and for particular time period. Okay, so source list will give you for a particular material in a particular plant what are the possible sources, what are the sources, that means what are the vendors. That list will be provided by the source list. Okay, in the source list you specify which source of supply is valid for a certain period of time. Okay, now just give me 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, so in the source list you specify which source of supply is valid for a certain period of time. Okay, so source list will contain what is the source, what is the vendor, and what is his period of time during which he is valid for the supply. Okay, that information you will maintain in the source of supply. You can specify a preferred source as a fixed or MRP relevant for a certain period in the source list also. And among all the sources you can maintain also which one is a fixed vendor, that also you can maintain. You can mark an undesired source also. After certain period you can block a vendor also as a you can block a vendor. Okay, so basically source list has the following purposes. One is restricting selection of sources during source determination process. That means during your procurement process, you make only certain vendors are selected, used for the procurement for a particular material. That can be done through this source list. And defining a source as a fixed source. You will be defining a source as a fixed source. Okay, that can be done. Even you can block a source after certain period. You don't want to procure from that vendor, so you can block that source, that vendor, and defining a source for MRP run. Okay, that also can be done. And even supplementing source determination with quota arrangement. This we will see it in the next topic. So source list will contain all this information. Okay, so basically in the purchase requisition, when you are doing when you want to do the source determination, that means when you want to determine the vendor, it can be done through info record, it can be done through outline agreement, which already we discussed, or you can done through a source list or through a quota arrangement. With these two we will be discussing today. Okay, so using source list you can determine the source, who is the vendor, who is the supplier, that you can determine in the purchase requisition. Okay, so this is how a source list will look like. Source list is normally created for a material and plant. Now in this source list you will maintain who are the vendors who is going to supply this material into this plant and their validity dates. Among these vendors If you want to make a vendor as a fixed vendor, that you can do that. And even you can block a vendor. Even you can block a vendor. Okay, so that kind of things you can do it in the source list. Okay, so let's create the source list now. Okay, I'll log on to the system. Okay, I logged on to the system. See, the main idea behind source list is, let's say you have a material. Okay, let's say material is ABC123. Okay, now this material you want to restrict the purchasing department to procure only from certain vendors. Let's say from vendor A, vendor B, and vendor C. So you want to restrict procurement of this material from only these vendors, only these three vendors, not from others. So if you want to have that kind of restriction, you will be creating the source list. So in the source list for this material, you enter only these three vendors. That's what you will do. So let's create the source list. So go to logistics. Okay, go to materials management, go to purchasing. Okay, go to master data. Okay, you have source list. Open it, maintain. The transaction code is ME01, maintain. Okay, this is one, maintain source list. Okay, here you enter your material. Okay, let me create a brand new material. Just 1 minute. I'll create a brand new material. Or do we have a material in the system? Just 1 minute. 60. Okay, so we have only one material. Okay, so let me do one thing. I'll create a brand new material. Okay, I'll create a brand new material. I'll create a raw material. Okay. I'm creating in plant 1000. Okay. Okay, I'm creating this material. Okay, I'm entering the purchasing group. Okay, I saved the material. So this is my material 50144. Okay, so this is my material. I created a new material. Okay, 50144. This is my material 50144. This is my material. So now for this material, I will create a source list. Okay, so go to ME01 transaction, enter your material 50144, enter the plant. Plant is 1000. Now enter. So the moment you enter, you will get this screen. Here you will enter the valid vendors, the vendors which you want to get supplied from this for this material. So you enter that vendor list for this materials. Okay, I'll select some vendors from the system. Just 1 minute. Let me create the PIRs also, because we need the PIRs. Without PIR, it will throw the error. Just 1 minute. ME11. I'll put ME11. Okay, ME11. I'll select some vendors. Just 1 minute. Vendors purchasing. Okay, I'll put the purchase organization as 1000. Just 1 minute. I'll select some vendors. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Let me select these 4 vendors. 1001, 1001, 1002, 1002, and 1003. Okay, these 3 vendors I will select. Okay, so I am just first creating the PIR. What do you call? Purchase info record, which we discussed yesterday. Okay, info record. Okay, go to purchasing data. Okay, plan delivery time. Okay, net price I am entering 10 euros. Enter. Able to determine condition type. Conditions. Okay, let's use some other system. Just 1 minute. This is a problem. Just 1 minute. Let me use some other system. Okay, MM60. Use a mint. Okay, so we have these materials. Okay, let me use this one 2578. 2578 I will use. 2578 I will use. Okay, so now I'll create some PIRs for this material. Just 1 minute. ME11, which we already created. What was the material? 2578. Enter the material. 2578. Purchase organization I will enter. Okay, now let's select the vendors. I'll select some vendors. Just 1 minute. Purchase organization is 1000. Okay, yesterday I used some vendors. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Yesterday I used some vendors. Just 1 minute. What was the vendors used? 1101, 1102, 1103. Okay, we will use this one. 1101, 1102, 1103. Okay, these vendors we will use. I'll create the purchase info records first. Okay, 1101, 1101, 1101. Okay, I'll go to purchase this thing. Standard quantity I will enter. Net price I will enter 10. Okay, now I'm saving this purchase info record. Okay, so this is our purchase info record. Go to change mode. Okay, this is our purchase info record number. Select the purchase info record number. Put it over here. Okay, now I'll create for the next vendor. 1102. Sorry. Go to create. Enter. Go to purchase organization data 1 liter. Let's say this is 50 euros. Now I'm saving this. Okay, next one is 7151. 7151. I'll create the next one. Next vendor 1103. Okay, go to purchase organization data. His price I am entering as 20. Okay, standard quantity 1. Enter, save it. Done. Next vendor is it is 7. It is 7152. So I want to procure this material from these 3 vendors only. System should not allow procurement from other vendors. So now we will create the source list. Okay, so the transaction code is ME11. Sorry, ME01. Sorry, ME01. Okay, you go to this transaction, maintain source list. You enter the material, 2578 is your material, enter the plant, enter. Now once you go inside, you will get this screen. Here you maintain the validity period of that vendor and then enter that vendor. So let's say I'll enter the validity period from today, 22/07/2018. Till, let's say I want to make this one vendor valid only for this year only. Okay, so 31/12/2018. Okay, so now the vendor is 1101. 1101. Okay. Purchase organization 1000. Okay, done. You got it. That means I want to procure this material. System should allow procurement of this material from this vendor only during this period. Okay, now I'll enter another vendor 22/07/2018 till 31/12/2019 from the next vendor 1102. Purchase organization is 1000. Then I entered. Now next one from today 22/07/2018. I want to procure from another vendor forever. Let's say 999 1103. Purchase organization is 1000. Okay, so like this you can maintain the vendors. That means if you have this source list, this material can be procured only from these 3 vendors for a certain period, for these periods only. Okay, I'll discuss about the remaining ones later point of time. Now you can just save the source list. This is one method of creation of source list. Okay, now for the same one more vendor, I'll create a scheduling agreement. Just 1 minute. Vendor, another vendor 1104. What I will do is I'll create a scheduling agreement which we discussed yesterday. Okay, I'll create a scheduling agreement. What was the scheduling agreement? Go to logistics, go to materials management, purchasing. Okay, go to outline agreement, or let's create a contract. Okay, let's create a contract ME31K. I'll create a contract 1104. Agreement type is just 1 minute. I'll create quantity contract. Purchasing group is this one. Okay, I'll remove the plant as a plant. Let's plant will remain there. Okay, validity end date 31/12/2019. Enter this we discussed yesterday. I enter the material. What was the material? 2578. 2578. Let's say I want to procure 10,000 material. Okay, not a problem. Okay, I'll enter some price 20. Okay, done. Now save it. Okay, done. We have created a contract also. We have a contract here. Okay, what is the contract number? Contract number is 46. This one. This is my contract number. Okay. For this material, you have a contract. Okay. So these things you can enter in the source list manually. That is, you can enter in the source list manually. Okay. Source list you can enter manually, one by one. Okay, that you can do. Or another method is I am not saving this. I'm just going back. I'm not saving this. Again, you go inside the source list. Instead of entering one by one manually, if you see there is a button, generate records. Are you able to see? There is a button called generate record, circle button with red and white colors. If you click on that button, system will automatically read the already existing records for this material with those vendors, and it will propose here automatically. Now you see, I'm just clicking on the button generate records. Okay, valid from date it is asking. Okay, continue. It will propose all the PIRs and the contracts we have created already. See, there are 3 purchase info records for these vendors that system is proposing, and for one vendor there is a contract. So system is proposing. So source list can be created in 2 ways. Either you can enter all those things manually, or you can generate from this by clicking on this button. So this is the source list. Now you save the source list. So now we have created the source list for this particular material. Okay, so now what data you will be maintaining in the source list? Okay, so first is the validity period. Okay, that means only to valid from and to date, from and to. Okay, so period within which the settings made in the source list are valid. Okay, so only during that period the procurement can be done from that vendor. Okay, now key source data. Key source data means the number of the vendor, the vendor number, and the responsible purchase organization number, and item of the outline agreement. That is a key source data. Now fixed source I'll tell you later point of time, and there will be procurement plan. This also I'll tell you later point of time. There will be a blocked source. Blocked source means among those vendors, after a certain period you want to block one source. That means you don't want to do procurement from that vendor, then you can do it as a blocked source. So how you will do the blocked is, you go here, again go inside. Here you see there is a blocked indicator. After a certain period I don't want to procure from this vendor. Okay, you just click on the button blocked. Then system will not propose you this vendor, will not allow you to procure this material from this vendor. That is a blocked one. Okay, anyhow I'm saving this. Okay, so now MRP one we will discuss when we go to the MRP. So this is the data you maintain in the source list. Now source list requirement. So for a particular material you can maintain source list requirement at 2 places. So one is the moment you activate source list requirement in the material master, so you need to mandatorily maintain the source list. Okay, so once you mandatorily maintain the source, list, whenever you create the purchase order, system will check whether that particular vendor is maintained in the source list or not. If it is not maintained, that vendor is not maintained in the source list, system will throw the error. Suppose if you see here, we are creating purchase order for the vendor 1030, but this vendor 1030 is not included in the source list. It is not there. So then system will not allow you to create this purchase order for this particular vendor. So how to make source list as a mandatory? So the source list as mandatory, you can do it in the material master record. So you just go to the material master. I'll show you again. Go to material master MM02. This is our material. Go to purchasing view. Okay, plant is 1000. Here, if you scroll down in the purchasing view, here you see there is an indicator source list. So I want source list to be mandatorily maintained for this material. So you activate this checkbox. The moment you activate this checkbox, source list will become mandatory. But already we maintained source list for this material. Okay, so we maintain the source list. Now in our source list, who are the persons available? Okay, who are the vendors available? Only this, you can procure this material only from these vendors. So suppose now if I try to create a PO, ME21N, okay, if I try to create a PO, okay, so let's say if I try to create PO for, let's say 1102, I'm trying to create PO for this vendor. Okay, enter the purchase organization, purchasing group. Okay, enter the company code. I entered it. Now I entered the material. What was our material? 2578. 2578. This is my material. I am entering the quantity. I'm entering the quantity and into this plant. Plant is 1000. The moment I entered, now are you getting any error? Are you getting any error? System is saying there is no problem. There is no problem. You can procure from this vendor. But if I try to enter a vendor which is not there in the source list, system will throw the error because that vendor is not included in the source list. So I'll not save this. I'll try to go to the PO again, ME21 again. Now I'm using a vendor which is not there in the source list, 1105. Okay, enter the purchase org, purchasing group, company code. Now I'm entering my material 2578 quantity and plant. I'm entering 1000. See, price it is asking. Okay, let me enter some price. What error you are getting? Source not included in the list despite source list requirement. So system will not allow you to procure for this material from this vendor because this vendor is not identified as a source in the source list. 1105 is not there. That is the meaning of it. Okay, so once the source list will become mandatory, that compulsory that vendor needs to be maintained in the source list. So the source list requirement you can maintain at material level or you can maintain at plant level. You can maintain at plant level also. Instead of maintaining for each and every material, you can make the source list requirement at plant level also. This is a configuration. I will show you in the configuration. So if you go to configuration, SPRO, SAP reference IMG. Okay, so scroll down, go to materials management. Okay, so go here, go to purchasing. Okay, so here you see source list. Here if you go inside, here define source list requirement at plant level. If you go here, if you go there, see for the 1000 plant as of now, plant level it is not there. Instead of maintaining for each and every material, in the material master as source list is mandatory, instead of maintaining that, you can maintain at plant level. So plant level, you go to the customization, and in the plant, for each plant, you activate this checkbox, source list required. So this also can be done. Okay, once you do that, for all the materials in that plant 1000, source list will become mandatory. So that's what you can do. So that is a importance of it. As of now, it is not there. If you want to make it, you just activate that checkbox and then you save it. So in that way, you can make source list as a mandatory. The vendor has to be mandatorily maintained in the source list. So it can be done in that way. Okay, so that is a source list requirement. Either you can maintain it material level, or you can make the setting at plant level. Okay, so next topic we will be discussing is creation of source list. So source list can be created in various methods. Okay, either you can create manually, which we just discussed. The transaction code is ME11. You can create, or you can directly create from an outline agreement, or you can create directly from a purchase info record, or you can generate them automatically also. I will show you this in the system. So there are various methods. Okay, one is manual, which already we discussed just now. Okay, you just go to this transaction and create and maintain source list manually. Or when you are creating the outline agreement, or when you are creating the purchase info record, you can create the source list. Or there will be automatic generation is also there. That also we will discuss. Okay, so let's go to the what do you call, let's see from the outline agreement how system will, how you can create the source list from an outline agreement. So what I will do is I'll go to the material, I'll go to the outline agreement. Okay, or let us take a, we don't have materials, huh? Or let us take another material. Okay, let me take what do you call uh, this one, let me take this 2618. I'll, or let's take that only, let's take that only 2578 only, we will take 2578. Before that, what do you call, before understanding how the source list are created from various other methods, now how the source determination happens through this source list. Okay, I'll show you that. So when you go to the, when you create a purchase requisition, ME51N, when you create the purchase requisition, okay, when they create the purchase requisition, what is our material? 2578. So when they enter the material 2578, okay, let's say I want to procure 100 quantity, I want to procure 100 quantity into plant 1000, into plant 1000, okay, into plant 1000. So from here you can do the source determination. So what you need to do is you just click on this checkbox. There is a button called source determination checkbox. Activate that. Activate that. Now scroll down. Now here, if you see, there is a tab called source of supply. So from here you can do the select the vendor. So just click on the button assign source of supply. So once you click on that button, see, system is proposing all the vendors from the source list. See, in the source list we have maintained all these vendors. System is proposing. Okay. Now here, among this, if you want to select a vendor, you do price simulation. Click on this button, price simulation all. Click on that button. The moment you click on the price simulation, system will do price comparison and it will give you who is the best vendor. See, now here we have done. Now yes, system is proposing 1101 as the preferred vendor, best vendor, which is coming with green light. Now you select this vendor. Now you select this vendor 1101. Okay, now you go back. Sorry, just 1 minute. Okay, sorry, you go back. You go back now. Now 1101 is proposed by the system. So what you do, you select 1101, you select 1101 and scroll down, you assign it. So now 1101 is assigned as a source of supply vendor for this purchase requisition. So this is how you use the source list during the source determination process. During the source determination process. Okay, this is a one thing. Now, what I will do, I will go to the source list again. Okay, I'll go to change mode, maintain. Again, I will go. Now, among these vendors, as of now, even though 4 vendors are there, I want to procure from this vendor 1103. I am making it as fixed vendor. I am making this vendor as fixed vendor. Now you see what will happen when I do the source, determination in the system. So now system by default will propose the 1101. So I am going to the PR again. I am not saving this. Okay, again I am creating a PR ME51N. Okay, enter the material. What was the material? 2578. 2578. Quantity is 100. Plant is 1000. Enter. Okay, now click on the activate the button checkbox source list, source determination. Now here, if you scroll down, the moment I click on the button assign source of supply, see what's happening? System by default proposing 1103 because we made that as a fixed vendor. For a particular time, I want to procure only from that material, that vendor only. So system is by default proposing the 1103 because we made that vendor as a fixed vendor. So this is how system will do the source determination during the purchasing process if you maintain the source list. Okay, now we will see how to create the source list from other methods. So from outline agreement. So let's show me outline agreement. Okay, just 1 minute. So when I'm trying to create, okay, I'll create a contract. I'll go to the contract. I'll go to the contract now. Okay, I'll create a fresh contract, ME31K. Same material. What was the material? 2578. 2578 is my material. That's okay. I'll do it for another vendor. Double one. How many vendors we have? 1104. Now I'll do it for 1105. Okay. I'm creating it. Enter. I'm creating a contract. Okay. Enter. Okay. Now enter the material. Material is 2578. I'm entering some quantity 10,000. Enter. Price I am entering. Let's say 8 euros. Okay, I entered it. Now from this screen you can create the source list. So select the line item. On the top there is a button, item maintain source list. You see, item maintain source list. So from the contract itself you can go and add the that vendor as a source list. So you add valid from today, valid to date. Okay, enter validity period. That's okay. Done. Okay. So now save it. Done. Created. Create contract is created, but this vendor will be added in your source list. So if you go to the source list, enter. See, the new vendor got added here automatically in the source list. Okay. So this is one method of creating the source list directly from the contract, directly from the outline agreements. You can create the source list. Another method is from the purchase info record also you can create the source list. So I'll take one more. I'll create a purchase info record. Okay, ME01, ME11, our purchasing info record, which we discussed in our previous class. Now I'll use 1106, new vendor for this material. Enter. Okay, go to purchasing org data. Enter the standard quantity 1. I'll enter some price. Let's say 22 euros per liter or something. I entered it. Now from here, go to extras. Source list. Are you able to see? There's a source list option. Click on that. Sorry, just 1 minute. Go to just 1 minute. Cancel. Go to general data. 2578 is already. We are on the maintain source list. Yeah, sorry. We are here. We have not saved it. That is why system they are not allowing. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So here you go back again once. Now again click on button. Extras source list. Now here it will allow you to add this vendor as a source list. Okay. Done. Enter. Now when I save this, purchase info record will get created, and at the same time this vendor will get added in the source list. Now I'm saving this. Done. Now if you go to our source list, if I go to the source list, see, one more vendor got added here, 1106. So this is how you can generate the you can create the source list, various methods. Now another one is automatic generation. Automatic generation means you go here, go to logistics, go to materials management, go to purchasing, master data. Okay, here you have source list, open it. Okay, follow on functions, this one ME05, the transaction code is ME05. Here you give the material, plant and just execute, and just test run, remove the test run indicator and execute, and when you save it, automatically it will come. But the problem is we already added all these things. Just 1 minute. Let us try with some different material. 2744 we will try. Let's see what happens. 2744. Plant is 1000. Okay, enter the plant. Remove the test run indicator. Okay, remove the test run indicator. Just try to execute. There are no selection is there. You should have some records in the system. 2744 or 2645. 2645. Plant is 1000. No, it is not there. Okay, so what we can do is for this 26, let's do one thing. Let's create some PARs. ME11 11, 26. What was the material? 26. Let's take this. What material we were using? 2578. That's okay. 2618 we will take. 2618. 2618. For this 1101, I'll create a PIR. Okay, save it. Standard quantity 1 liter. I'm saving the PIR 2618. I'll create one more PIR. Same 2618. Purchase organization data. Net price 12, and this one. Save it. Save it. So 2618 is my material. Now again you go to ME05. 2618 you enter. You enter plant 1000. Okay. Now remove the test on indicator. Now just execute. Now system will bring the all the PA info records over here. Now you can save it. When you save it, automatically in the background source list will get created. Okay. So now as of now, for this material 2618, the new material 2618, if you go ME01 2618, as of now there is no source list here. As of now there is no source list. Now, but when I do it from there, when I do it from here, it will generate the source list. And of course, here I'm doing only for one material. Here I'm doing only for one material. You can do it for multiple materials also. You need to click on this button, multiple selection button. You give whatever the materials you want to create source list. You give that materials here. Put the plant here, and then remove the test on indicator and execute. It will fetch all the records available for those materials. Now, as of now, I am creating info record source list for this material. So select all. Now just click on the button save. In the background, system will create the source list for that material. So now if you go to the material now, 2618, now you see source list got created. So this is how you can generate automatically also, automatic generation source list. Okay. Now the next topic we will be discussing is source list for material group contracts. Okay, so whenever you are creating a contract for a material group, which we discussed in the previous class, yesterday's class, we discussed how to create a contract for a material group. So when you are creating the contract for a material group, from there itself you can generate the source list for the material group also. For material group also, same thing. You select item and then maintain source list. So you can generate a source list for a material group also. That is also possible. Okay, same thing. When you are creating the contract for a material group, from there you will create the source list for that material group. Same like the one for which I showed you for a single material. So that is also possible. Okay. So with this, we have completed the source list.